I started dulling the Franks. You know, I'm enjoying it. I'm only at episode 5 right now, but I'm enjoying it. I do like I do like because I mean, listen, I from like 2 to 3 years ago. No, actually 2 years ago, I binged the entirety of Gundam, like every single Gundam show, no manga or anything like that, but entirety of like just anime and movie Gundams. So I can now see like how much of an influence that has on the mech genre, but I also seen Tengen Toppa and Evangelion before I watched Gundam. So it's very cool to like see how Gundam kind of like started all, and now seeing how like people take the mech genre and make their own little twist to it. So it's really cool like watching Darling the Franks and be like, oh yeah, this is typical mech stuff. But I like the concept of like, oh yeah, you need a partner to write this, and you have to be in sync. I like that, and but I still think it's wild that it has to be a woman that's like bent over like that. And I told many of my friends, like, if I was in that cockpit and I was with a beautiful girl in it, and she's over like ass towards my face like that, I'd be like, I'm not sure if I could focus. I'm sorry, but I'm not sure if I could focus. I'd be in the middle of a war, and then I'll be looking down like, you okay? And I just see that booty cheeks, just like, I'm like, whoa. Whoa. And then my mech just like shuts down because I'm out of focus, you know what I mean? Like, it's just I just did like, as I said, stuff like that because I don't know how they could focus on anything else. But hey, that's why they're better men than me, because they know dangers afoot. I'll be dead the first 10 minutes of a fight. Okay, now let's go to Mushroom Wars. Well, that doesn't fit to Darling the Franks at all. I should have talked about Mario or something. This transition does not work. Did I even do the fucking? I did. Okay, I keep forgetting if I do the check. Yeah, doesn't matter. Oh, this one is gonna take me a while. Never mind. Maybe not. Another Euclid. We have one save and that's it. The one save is like, bye. So guys, I hope you don't mind if I have some bubble gum. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna tell you guys. Never mind. The forest in which SCP-1627 is okay to be secured by 50 armed Foundation personnel. The species shall be allowed to grow in the area, but only within Foundation set boundaries. D-class testing of SCP-1627 is to take place within Site-56 in a waterproof testing chamber, after which the affected D-class shall be left in the chamber until death. If SCP-1627 is discovered outside of this area, the previously mentioned procedure should be set in place. The town of TN USA is to be quarantined and monitored until all instances of -A and -B are identified and neutralized. The town will continue to be observed for up to 1 year after all anomalous entities have been assumed to be deceased. Oh yeah, I should probably tell. Oh my god, I'm texting so many people while doing this. Now we continue to be observed for up to 1 year after all anomalous entities have been assumed to be deceased. SCP-1627 is a species of fungus superficially resembling fly agaric mushrooms, Amanita muscaria. This species can cause vomiting, internal bleeding, blindness, and hallucination if ingested. Well, not The Last of Us, that's for sure, but close. SCP-1627 anomalous effects manifest as a result of ritualistic behavior composed of the following criteria. I felt that fucking tickling inside my nose. SCP-1627 comes into contact with human blood. SCP-1627 is ingested by a human subject. SCP-1627 is ingested in the absence of direct sunlight. If a subject ingests the fungus without meeting all of the previously mentioned requirements, that subject will experience SCP-1627's non-anomalous toxic effects. Once subject meets the above requirements, that subject will be transfigured into either an instance of -A or an instance of -B. Is it a clicker? -A refers to a person who have completed the aforementioned ritual successfully with their own blood. Upon the completion of the process, any damage present within the individual's body will be completely healed. This includes tissue damage, bacterial and viral infection, and cancer. Congenital genetic mutations are unaffected. -A subjects are unaffected by pathogens, as well as being able to survive without food or water for extended periods of time. Instances can only be distinguished from non-anomalous and humans by the By the way, let me check something. Yeah, okay, I'm good. I'm checking way too many things. I'm so sorry. Oh. Instances can only be distinguished from non-anomalous humans by the faint presence of a white glow emanating from their bodies, which is present when they are put into areas with illumination measuring no more than 10 lux. When a human being comes into direct skin contact with an instance of -A, all damage and infections present within them will be healed. Over the course of the following 2 weeks, that subjects will experience rapid senescence until death, often by natural causes associated with old age. This appears to give nourishment to the -A instance. And -B information? Wait, that's a... Okay, that's... So this one is the new chapter, okay. -B refers to persons who have completed the aforementioned ritual successfully with a different person's blood. Upon the completion of the ritual, the subject will experience uniformly dark pigmentation across its entire form, with 2 points of light located on its upper half, which appear to function as eyes. Subjects will also enter into a semi-solid state, and while resting appear to be formless. Specimens of -B are sentient and sapient, as well as being capable of vocalizing. Very rarely do individuals retain their original personality as a transformation. Instead, instances will display predatory behavior. These organisms will often kill their prey via suffocation after entering into the respiratory tract. Once the target is dead, -B will invade the corpse and consume the victim's cardiovascular, nervous, and reproductive systems, as well as excreting preservatives into the rest of the organism tissue in order to prevent decay of the corpse. Instances of -B will inhabit human corpses in order to blend into populated areas. Organisms tend to live in groups of 3, but have been found living alone and in groups of up to 7 members. While -B cannot hold a consistently solid humanoid form outside of the corpse, it may remain within a host body indefinitely. -A and -B appear to be invulnerable to physical damage. However, both groups are susceptible to starvation within 3 weeks. In addition, if instances of -A and -B are brought together, both subjects will die immediately after making contact. The cause of this is currently being studied. Some sort of chemical reaction, eh? S1627 was discovered on the 6th, 4th, 1995. In the small secluded mountain town of... Wrong button. TN USA, after agents received reports of people of shadow and light coming out from the nearby forest within the town. Several groups had formed based on reactions to the entities, with the largest groups being the Daylight Huntsmen, the Brotherhood of the Night, and the Enders. See the attached history file 1627 Theta and incident report Alpha for greater detail. Well, here we have the history file. SB object involved, SB1627. GOYs involved, GOY187, Daylight Huntsman, GOY1888, 188 Brotherhood of Night, and GOY189, Enders. That's called Group of Interest, correct? Okay. Summary: citizens of DNN USA came into contact with SB1627 when a group of people identifying themselves as the Cult of the New entered into the town town square at 20 o'clock on the 14th, 2nd, 1995, and performed the SCP-1627 ritual on the members, creating several instances of -A and -B. A few members of the cult attempted to speak a message of power and evolution. In the midst of this, a riot started among the crowd, which resulted in the death of all members of the cult and several civilians. Within the next day, several groups formed among the citizens of the town, the largest and most prominent of these being GOY 187 through 189. These groups gained control of the town over the course of 2 months and grew more and more unstable until redacted. Footnote says, see incident report alpha in the okay, now we have the Daily Huntsman information. GOY 187, Daylight Huntsman, was organized by Regis Newman as a group of people who had decided to support the -A instances and actively attempt to combat -B. Due to -B hunting and killing methods, members of the group usually wore gas masks and were extremely resident in trusting people outside of the group. It is reported that prior to the Foundation containment of SCP-1627, these individuals refused to interact with persons that weren't in the group and often did not let anyone else join. As part of a larger initiative, these members also actively destroyed all methods of communication, including phones and internet, as well as ensuring no citizens left the city after the initial exposure to the anomaly in order to halt the spread of -B outside of the town. Out of the 3 most prominent groups during this time, GOY 187 was the most noticeable and prevalent due to the equipment and methods of the operation. When members of this group identified -A instances, they invited them to join in their ranks, while making sure not to touch them. Due to the group's full body outfit, distinguishing between anomalous and non-anomalous individuals was challenging. Whenever members from this group successfully captured members of GOY 188, Brotherhood of the Night, they used them to feed the -A instances among their ranks. Members of this group were reported to have searched random houses in order to identify and capture members of GOY 188 and -B instances. The people captured were often executed via incineration in the town's crematorium. GOY 187 appeared to be unaware of -B's undamageable nature. Yeah, it makes sense. So like I was about to say like, wait a minute, they don't really die that easily, so them not being aware of it makes sense. Members of this group also tended to ignore GOY 189 enders because it just seemed like another crazy fucking cult with bullshit they had to wade through. Redacted 4. See incident report alpha. Yeah, okay. Now we have the Brotherhood of the Night. GOY 188 was formed under the leadership of Martha Grande, with the premise that SCP-1627-B was the next step of humanity. This group's stated purpose is to aid in the spread of -B either through the SCP-1627 ritual or assisting the entities in finding food and corpses to inhabit. However, due to the radical actions taken by members of GOY 167, Daylight Huntsmen, a large portion of the membership of the Brotherhood came from townspeople who were displeased with the changes the Huntsmen had made. Members of this group are typically reclusive to the methods utilized by the Huntsmen. However, they also willingly gave up their own bodies for use by SCP-1627-B if needed. Relations of this group with GOY 189 enders were visually non-existent due to the massive numbers of small cultist groups that had formed in town during this time. And let me guess. Yeah, Alpha. Enders? Oh god. The GOY 189 enders were formed by Lars Peterson in response to SCP-1627 ritual in the town square. This group formed their own religion around the concept of -A and -B, with the stated core principles consisting of balance and preparation for the shadow. It's because when they come in contact, they just get destroyed. They believe -A and -B to be human forms of good and evil, respectively. Members insisted that these anomalies were the universe signaling them that the path to the end is caused by extremes. This group was generally avoided and ignored by GOY 187 and GOY 188. The major preachings of the group were about an end of times and walking down the middle. They believed that the only way to salvation was to live a neutral life, and thus only acted in a manner that could be described as such by their own interpretation. Well, they fucking Swiss. I say, as a Swiss person myself, like, God, grow a pair. They reviled extremes and claimed that their perfect world would consist of issues presented not in black and white but in grey. Members also spoke of duality and how it is better that neither side benefits them than one side getting help. GOY-189 held many gatherings in a variety of places, mostly private residence, but occasionally churches and open areas where they invited people to join them in preparations for the end and safely from the SCP-1627 entities. During these gatherings, the speakers of the group, known as equalizers, would often go out among the crowds and hold conversation in order to inform people of the group's messages. And yeah, back to Alpha, right? Yeah. Here we go, Alpha. You've been talked about 4 times at least. What do you have to say? Incident report, Alpha. On the 6th, 4th, 1995, Foundation discovered that the town in which these events occurred after recovering several instances of -A and B from the surrounding countryside. When agents arrived on the scene, conflict between the 3 groups had escalated greatly. MTF Sigma 7, aka Turn Right at the Light, MTF Upsilon 4, aka Please Don't Touch Me, and MTF Eta 9, aka Mall Security, were dispatched to subdue the citizens and contain instances of -A and -B. At this time, members of GOY-187 Daylight Huntsmen had apparently become paranoid to the point of complete destruction of internal structure and betrayal between members. Meanwhile, GOY-188 Brotherhood of the Night had released approximately 20 instances of -B that they had kept hidden in order to let them freely hunt while they forced people at random to eat blood-covered instances of SCP-1627. GOY-189 ended up begun killing people by various means not involving direct contact. That doesn't sound very neutral. When questioned about these actions, the members responded that they had come to the conclusion that killing was a neutral and therefore just action. Oh yeah, sure. Footnote. Rationalization was for this include it can both be merciful and malicious, and it could either kill the monsters or the people, therefore it lies in the middle. You're still killing, my man. What the fuck is wrong with you? Foundation agents went into the town and subdued the majority of the citizens using anomalous outbreak protocol Row 05, after which many instances of -A and B were located and contained. All members of the town were interrogated, particularly those reported to be belonging in one of the 3 aforementioned groups, before being administered Class A amnestics and released. All information about the groups and event occurring within the town was gathered from the interviews, and SCP-1627 was found and contained. The species was discovered in Forest, a 50 square kilometer area of wooded land, which appears to be only located where SCP-1627 grows naturally at this time. That was... We had a whole Infinity War happening here. It's kind of crazy how this mushroom was like Night Marchers, but then like a whole like 3 different sections of like groups joined and decided to like participate in all this in different ways. God fucking damn it, man. Like it was that's insane.